All right, the last block. Some stories of training incidents. Oh, that sounds bad. Well, okay, there's one in particular. And I want to preface this story by saying Malcolm is a lovely person. And yes, I'm going to say his name in particular because I have been using this story under the name Malcolm's Flying Shit Show since it happened. And that was, my guess is 14 years ago now. I've lost contact with Malcolm. I hope he is running some bomb-ass restaurant in Lower Manhattan and has gotten so wealthy off of it that he has his rooftop access in Chelsea. I hope everything's going great for him. But Malcolm was...
hears this and reaches out.
I absolutely, Malcolm, let us know how you're doing. Would love to go grab dinner with you. But I got to use you as an example. And only out of love and as a learning tool for others. So Malcolm was an intern at the restaurant that Trae and I worked at together on the Bowery. Rest in peace, Eagles. You know, I missed almost every aspect of that place,
including the biscuits.
Oh man,
those are good biscuits.
Those are good biscuits. That was some good fried chicken too.
Yep.
So Malcolm,
big trays of mashed potatoes and fried chicken every night.
Yep. As often happens in restaurants, the intern gets put on the salad station. Not because salads are necessarily the easiest thing, but they're the easiest to not get disastrously wrong. All right, if maybe you put a little too much or not enough on that plate, or you need to get stacked a little higher, those are things that it's easy enough to do. You didn't burn anything. You didn't fill the kitchen with smoke. Probably. Hopefully. Jeez. And so anyway, and Malcolm was actually getting really pretty good at the salad station, but it was getting towards the end of his internship, and he really just wanted to actually cook on the hotline. And the decision was made that the first shift he would have would be on the fryer station. Now, again, on the hotline, often the fryer is just a quick pickup. It's sides. It's the fries, the tots, all right. Maybe there's an entree. And yes, in fact, in that restaurant in particular, known in Lower Manhattan for its fried chicken, the fried chicken came out of that fryer. We had two fryers next to each other. Usually one of them was the app one, and one of them was just for the chicken because there was just that volume going through.
And I think they were two different temperatures as well.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Man, it's been a while since I was on that line, but yes.
Yeah, I think I only had to do fry station once there.
I spent a lot of time on that. Oh yeah, because you were doing pastry stuff. Anyway,
pastries.
You were Pastrylandia.
I was.
But one of the aspects of any station on any line in any kitchen you will come to is properly being prepared for service that night. And now, sure, without any experience on that line, what you need to do is listen to your sous chef. And I'm pretty sure Danny had told him, you need at least 2 quarts of this. You need at least X number of this. And for that station, you would par cook the chicken, because a fried chicken breast is a 20-minute pickup. It takes a while to cook through.
Which for the uninitiated means that when it's ordered, if it was raw, it would take 20 minutes to get to your table.
Yes, and that's from the minute that it actually hits the fryer, which isn't an instantaneous thing. As soon as you tell your server what you want, there's a process in there. But we'll get to that.
Chances are it's a half an hour from the time you tell your server, if not longer.
Yeah. So if you par cook it, then it's a 4 or 5 minute pickup, which is a whole lot easier to deal with the rest of the line. And well, I guess the short end of the story is he was not properly mise en place. Even with the sous chef offering to help, Malcolm was certain that he had enough to get through the night, and then was busier than he expected to be. And I have never so efficiently seen a single station take an entire kitchen down, because once he ran out of par-cooked chicken, one of those 2 fryers needed to be used just to cook the chicken breasts, and everything else, fries, absolutely any burger comes with fries. So Anything else has to come out of that other fryer, and there's only so much you can put in it. And a batch of fries still takes itself 3 to 5 minutes to cook. And anything, if there were tater tots coming out of there, there were corn dogs in that fryer. We had good corn dog recipe there.
Corn dogs.
Or no, it wasn't tater tots, it was hush puppies. And just chef was trying to find any ticket he could with nothing coming off of the fryer, and was like, oh wait, that one just has a salad and a plancha. The plancha was great. And we had this calamari dish that was still one of my favorite calamari apps I've ever had. But he would try to link those up and put those up, and just as quickly as we could. I think there were 3 people on the fryer, one on his station just doing prep, the other, the sous chef just frying chicken, and him trying to do anything he could. And the rest of us standing there like, can I fire this yet? No. Okay. Can I? No. Okay. And there's nothing we could do to help. We can't fry things. So anyway, moral of the story is, you might be trained very well on one station, but listen to your sous chef when you move over to the other one. Did I have a point to this story? Malcolm, I still love you.
Well, the point of the story is that when you are a new trainee in a new station, no matter what experience you have anywhere else, ask the questions and pay attention to the answers.
Yep. I have absolutely made mistakes. Once or twice made dumb and expensive mistakes. I once, when I was cooking in Italy, dropped a bottle of truffle oil that was, I think, about 120 euro. And how chef found out about it, because chef was in her office, and the bottle dropped. And about 2 minutes later, the beautiful aroma of this handcrafted bottle of nearly full truffle oil had made it to her office. And she comes out, because we were cleaning the kitchen at the end of the night at that point, and she comes out and was like, what smells good? And was like, oh God, so sorry. Yeah.
And I think it's also important, own your mistakes.
Own your mistakes.
Own your mistakes and learn from them. If you drop the bottle of truffle oil, if you completely under-prepare for a busy night service, if you haven't taken the time off that you need to take, own it and be part of the solution, not just part of the problem.
And you know what? You actually reminded me of one other point I wanted to make about training, is that training is not just for the new people, that your experienced servers can still learn more, that you can still, especially in the kitchen, cross-train your cooks. It's real cool, especially at Peel's and a couple of other restaurants I was at, kind of between being a line cook and a sous chef. I called myself the utility infielder because, oh, sure, I'm on the grill tonight. Great. Oh, you want me on heavy saute? All right, fine. Oh, you need me in garde manger tonight? All right, no worries. I got that. And I personally like knowing how to do anything in there. And if you need me to jump in the bakery and help plate desserts, yeah, I'm not going to make them look as beautiful as the pastry chef, but I'll make them look good. Be open, learn new stuff.
Learn new stuff.
And also
learn until if you can't learn anymore, that's when it's time to move on.
Right. I have made one of my servers, or one of my banquet servers, now into one of my better bartenders, because, well, I needed somebody who could cover a smoke break. It was like, Melissa, come, stand here. Let me show you how to open a bottle of wine. And it just went from there. And now it's, in fact, we just had our customer appreciation party, and she was the one that I had behind the bar, and she was totally confident the whole time, because she was interested in learning, but then also I was willing to train her, and now she has a new skill that she could take somewhere else. But
hopefully
also,
not too soon.
Hopefully not too soon, because I really need to. But that's about as far as I'm going to go on training, because we could get absolutely into management styles. Be open. Don't be a dick. Ask lots of questions. Try to get along with the new crew. Learn something new. Always be open. I guess that's the one I've got.
Always be learning. I think always be learning is the big one.
And the other end, because this is the problem that I sometimes have, is be patient while you are the trainer, because
Yes.
sometimes
Huge.
you need to remind them a couple times. And sometimes things that seem so obvious to you are a new experience to them. So cut them some slack. And
You were there once.
I'm talking to myself right now because I am a culprit of this. I now have somebody who has been on the staff long enough that when she comes to me and says, "What do you need?" my answer to her is, I need you to be able to look around the room and assess for yourself what the highest priority is. But we're going to get to that in another episode.
I am going to use that.
Yes. Because that's the next level. And sure, once you get the lower level stuff down, that's what I need from you. And I will also say, again, as a manager who tries to empower his staff to problem solve for themselves, is when you make a mistake, when you do something that I would have done differently, I'm not going to jump down your throat if you could justify it. If you could tell me why you did it like that. If the answer is because you didn't know any better, that's probably on me. I should have told you. I should have, but if you said, well, okay, I could have done this, I could have done that, I did this. It's like, okay, well, you know what? Let's not do it that way next time. Well, from now on. But if you come up with a solution that might be different than mine, but still answers the problem, still gets it done, then cool. Then that's your way of doing it. And it can be different than mine. And I just, again, as a manager, I try to be groovy like that. Be chill. I don't know.
I think it's important. No, it's important. I always tell my team the only decision I'm going to get mad at them for is not making a decision and waiting for me to come back and tell them what to do.
Exactly. Don't make me make a decision for you when it's something that you could have. Actually, there is one more point. Crap, I keep doing this.
That we always do.
Someone else brought up to me last week in working with the younger crowd, and I will say under 25, is there are some of them that if you show them a ceiling, if you show that, like if you train and they want to learn, and then you get to the point where it's like, no, this is all I need from you, then they'll move on. They'll go somewhere else because they want that engagement. And find ways to benefit yourself for that. Like as a manager, your job is to make the best use of the skills that your crew has on that day. And sure, building new skills is part of it, but if you have someone who's willing to learn new skills, then next week that's someone you could have in a different position. Utilize your crew. Okay. Love you all. Thanks so much for listening. Like and subscribe. Oh yeah, I got to do that. We don't have a Patreon yet, but thanks all for sticking with us, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.